Hello everyone, I am the Let's Play Baseball Curse, and this is going to be a short series on the Among Us maps. Going over the map layouts and kind of all the tasks that you can do in each one. This episode is based on the Skeld, so let's hop right on it. So, I've started here in the cafeteria, where the emergency button is and where emergency meetings will take place when bodies are found. So, I'm going to start with a layout of the map. We start here in the cafeteria in the very center, at the north. We head east into weapons. South from there leads us to O2, and then navigation. Keep going south. We find the shields room, the communications room, and storage. Now, in between storage and up here is back in the cafeteria is the admin room. Now, the admin room has the admin table where you can see where people are. People will show up if they're in a specific room, but not if they're in the hallways. Now, if we head to the west side, we'll head to the west through the cafeteria. The first room you'll find is medbay. Then you'll find the upper engine farther west. You'll find security here on the right. You can see medbay through there on the other side of the wall. And to the west, the farthest west room is reactor. Now finally, in the southwest, we have the lower engine and electrical. Now if we go back to the center, here is storage again. Now, I'm going to go over some of the tasks. Really, the tasks exclusive to the Skeld and all the generic ones. So in admin, we have swipe card. Cafeteria, we have upload data and empty garbage. Communications, we'll have a divert power. Electrical, will have calibrate distributor and fix wiring. Engines will have divert power to upper engine, align engine output, and divert power to lower engines. In medbay, we'll have inspect sample and submit scan. We'll have chart course, and stabilize steering. Divert power and tasks such as upload data and divert power are all the same, just found in different spots. In O2, we'll have divert power, not divert power, we'll have clean O2 filter. In reactor, we'll have start reactor and unlock manifolds. Security, nothing new. In shields, we'll have prime shields. Storage, we'll have fuel engines. And in weapons, we'll have clear asteroids, and that'll be all. So I'm going to start by making a loop again, first here in cafeteria, and then I'll move towards weapons and O2 and navigation and all that. So upload data, you just click on the button and it'll go automatically. That arrow points to where you need to go next for that task. Now, pulling the chute, you click and hold on the lever, and it'll empty the garbage chute. Here in weapons, you click on the chair, on the use button, and you have to click on the asteroids to shoot them. You have to destroy 20 to clear the task. If you're interrupted during the task, the number carries over. So like I destroyed 16, still says I have 16, go back in, destroy 4 more, and the task is done. Now also, one thing to notice is that if visual tasks are on, you can see here the guns would fire. Now here in O2, we have cleaning the filter, which also continues if interrupted. Upload data and empty garbage do not, I believe they do reset if interrupted. Here in navigation, we have chart course, click and drag the ship to chart the course, and stabilize steering. You can either click and drag the circle to the center, or you can just click on the center, and it'll complete the task. On the map, tasks will show up as exclamation points, yellow, wherever you need to go. down here in Shields, here's another visual task. You have to come over to this button and click all the red buttons to prime the shields. Now this is another visual task. If you see in the bottom right of my screen where my mouse is, once you prime all of them, the shields will light up. So that's another visual task. Now here's the final visual task, emptying the storage chute. If you can see this box here, when I pull the trash out, it'll all shoot out into space. Now I'm going to head up into the admin room. There are wires here. Just click and drag the assorted, click and drag each color or symbol to the one that matches up with it on the other side, and you have to do that 3 times at various places around the map. Here's the second half of the upload data. It can start most rooms in any room with the with this box here, but it always ends up in admin. Also in admin is the card swipe. You click on the card and drag it through at about that speed. You can do it too fast or too slow, but you got to do it at the right speed. Up here in cafeteria is another wires spot. Click and drag to each symbol, triangle, star, circle, or X or cross, and go from there. Now in medbay, we have the inspect sample, where you click on the square here and leave, wait for 60 seconds, and then come back. You also have the medbay scan, where you have to wait for about 10 seconds to be scanned. This is actually another visual task. I think this is the last one, actually. That green light will be visible to others if visual tasks are on. Now in upper engine, we can align the engine and to fit it roughly into that space. Here we have the last wires. In reactor, we have the start reactor, where it's basically Simon Says. You have to do 5 turns of Simon Says. If you get interrupted, your progress is kept, but if you mess up, you'll have to start again from the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now up here is the unlock manifolds task. You have to click on the numbers in numerical order from 1 to 10. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now what else do we have? We have something in lower engine. In lower engine, we match it up, and the task is done. We have a lot of things in electrical. We can divert power. Well, I think you have multiple set up. Yeah, so you come here, divert the power, and then you can go back to each spot and accept the power. Here's the Calibrate Distributor task. So you have to click on the button at the right time when this matches this on each ring. 3. So now we can finish up these arrows. This is where you would accept the power. So you've accepted the power in communications. Then we can go to lower and upper engines. This is in storage is where you can get the fuel to refuel the engines. You get it, go to the engine, and then we'll fill it up and go back and get more fuel. Up here is one of the accepted power. Up here we can refuel. And up here is accepting more power. We can actually stop by medbay, and now that about a little over a minute has passed, we can select the odd one out, which is the one in the middle, and that task is done. And then, to finish up our last task, go down, get the last bit of fuel that we need, and head over to the lower engine and finish up fuel. voila. So because the taskbar was filled, the crewmates would win. The crew would have to finish all their tasks before getting killed or voted off at meetings or by the imposters. Now, real quick, I'm going to call an emergency meeting just to see what happens. So somebody calls an emergency meeting, it calls all of the players to the cafeteria, you talk, discuss what happened, put it to a vote. I'll vote for dummy 6 for no reason, but... So we all skipped, and so 3 people skipped, there was only a tie. There was a tie amongst everyone else. Like dummy 1 got a vote, dummy 2, dummy 5, and dummy 6 all got 1 vote. 3 people skipped, so skipped, and nobody gets voted off. Whoever gets the most votes gets voted off. Now if it's a tie or a skip, then nothing happens. Now, finally, I'm going to go over how being an imposter works on this map. So now that I'm imposter, I have a bunch of sabotages, including closing doors, which are the red X's. I can sabotage O2, which I will get to in a moment. Yeah, I can sabotage O2, which means an alarm goes off and you'll have a certain amount of time to come both here and into the admin room down there to put in a random number in the keypads. If I call that, I'm right here. Put in 57705, and that's done. And I come down into admin. I put in 57705, and that is done. I can also call the reactor, which I cannot fix by myself. It requires 2 people. So once it's done, I can call the reactor. They do have a cooldown, these sabotages. I call a reactor, 2 people need to come over here and put their hands on these machines, and it will stop with 2 people. Now, unfortunately, I'm playing alone, so I can't do it by myself, but that will happen. Next, I'm going to head down into electrical, because there's a sabotage down there. And because the sabotage went off and nobody was able to fix it, the imposter would win that way as well. So next, I'm going to come into electrical. Now what happens here is I click on this button once it's finished cooling down, and it'll turn off the lights for all of the crewmates. Their vision will shrink to a small bubble around them, and they will not be able to see. Imposters, however, will be able to see, and the cameras, security cameras in security, will still work. I will cover those later. So to fix this, you come to this panel in electrical, flip the switches that are off, and lights come back on. Now, while I'm waiting for the last sabotage to finish, I'll come over to security and explain the cameras. Now these cameras show some of the hallways, including the one right outside the room. Up north, this is the medbay entrance here. This is outside of navigation in O2, and over here is in the middle of the map, cafeteria to the north, storage to the south, admin to the east. And if you can see the small cameras here, 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 and here, they will blink red when someone is on cameras, letting people passing by that there's somebody there watching. And then finally, the last sabotage is communications. You can sabotage communications, and crewmates will not be able to see what tasks they have left or how far the taskbar has been completed. You come down here, and you have to make them match pretty much. Alright, now, finally, two things left, actually. There's killing, and there's venting. Now to kill, you press the kill button. When you're close enough, report button will pop up. This will take you to emergency meeting, and you can now vote here as well. Vote for dummy 1. Now there are two people voted for me, 2 people voted for dummy 4. That's a tie, so nobody gets ejected. There is 1 imposter remaining. And now, after the kill, you would notice, there's a kill cooldown that'll vary based on the game settings, but you can't kill while it's counting down, so you gotta take that into account. Now finally, the vents. There are these vents all over the map. Imposters only can vent in, can jump in and vent, move over to the other vent that connects, and jump out. Good for making a quick escape or moving across the map a little quickly. So the weapons and top nav connect, bottom nav and shields connect through vents. This vent here, I have 2 places to go. I can go to admin, or I can come up to cafeteria and back into the hallway. Pop out of this vent here. Now the last vent is, the last connected vent is here in, there's a vent here in medbay that will connect to here in security, and then also down here in electrical. Oh yes, there are some in reactor as well. In reactor, top one comes up to upper engine, and bottom goes to lower engine. And that should be about it. That is basic overview of the Skeld. Thank you guys so much for watching, and hope you'll tune in for the next one of these that I do. It'll be over Mira HQ. Thank you, and see you all later.